Guys, what's up? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today is another interesting one as I'm going to be talking about my specific editing and filming techniques. Now, if you guys would like to see a future video on any of the techniques that I'm going to mention in today's video, but in more detail, then please let me know in the comment section down below and I can be sure to film a more in-depth walkthrough or tutorial on how I go about achieving the final result. But today I just wanted to cover my style of videography and what I like to film and how I like to use the camera. So, for those of you who know, which is probably most of you, you'll know that I post a lot of automotive related content on my channel, especially content revolved around cars that I own, such as my Golf R and a Bath, as well as filming for a dynamic array of automotive clients. When filming these videos, I always like to incorporate a cinematic look where possible. I'm a massive movie enthusiast. I love my cinematography, and I think filming in a cinematic way always helps just level up the quality of the video that little bit more. And to achieve a cinematic look, sometimes it's not even too difficult. I believe sometimes you just need things as simple as just a stable clip and maybe the letterbox effect. And the letterbox effect is just the black bar on the top of your frame and the bottom of the frame to give it that cinema feel. And a color grade, of course. A color grade always is the cherry on top, but I think that's a more in-depth topic for another video. Now, when it comes to actually how I man my camera, sometimes, especially as of recent, I've been loving this sort of time-lapse effect where I'll play a clip and then midway through it sort of speeds up as if I'm moving the camera really quickly before slowing down on a certain subject as the frame is progressing. So I'll show you guys an example of that now. This is an effect I love to use. I think it really spices up your footage and helps add energy. And that's the thing when it comes to editing. There are certain editing techniques that you can do to help enhance energy, or there's certain editing techniques you can do to create a more slow, chilled, more cinematic vibe. There's lots of ways that you can go about playing around with your footage to achieve a certain type of emotion, I guess. So the time-lapse effect is definitely one technique that I've been loving as of recent. Now, there are more complicated effects. There's one specific effect that I have been dabbling with as of recent, which involves a draw mask effect on Final Cut. It's masking out a specific area of that frame of your footage, and I've been using it to create this effect. Does it make you want to scream? It's a lot more than just a draw mask. It involves adding some glow. It involves a sort of zooming in and zooming out technique. If you guys would like to see how I achieve this effect in more detail, then please let me know in the comment section down below. However, this is a technique that I learned a lot off by watching a guy called Ryan Nangle. Now, that guy has some amazing tutorials. I'll put his channel in the description down below. He offers some really cool videos on how to achieve certain looks when it comes to your editing, just to take your quality of videos to the next level. And he has some really cool plugins, some of which are free of charge, and I absolutely love them. I still use them to this day. So he's a great person to check out. Now, when it comes to framing of a shot, and maybe I'm shooting a specific subject or a specific part of the car, take the interior of a car for example, and I want to capture sort of the dash and steering wheel, I love sort of getting a bit of foreground in frame, such as this example here. So I have the door open and I'm slowly capturing a little bit of the bodywork, a little bit of the paintwork of the exterior of the car in my lens, so it creates a nice depth. I'm focusing on the interior, and as the clip progresses, I'm slowly moving away, so the foreground starts to almost be eliminated from that shot, so that subject, as in the dash and the steering wheel, becomes more the center of attention. It's a technique that I like to use for a different array of shots, such as capturing maybe the seats of the car as well, such as in this case where I'm recording the seats, but I'm also capturing a little bit of the roof lining in frame too. Again, it just really helps with depth of field. With my style of videography, I love to use a Ronin M, a stabilizer, which just helps keep my footage even more stable, especially because my camera doesn't have inbuilt stabilization, so that I feel is a necessity for me. I shoot freehand a hell of a lot of the time, to be honest, and I have been practicing just trying to keep my camera more stable without any extra equipment, but the Ronin M does add to that cinematic feel. However, freehand is a different style as well, so don't be shy to shoot freehand, and don't be shy to use a gimbal. So the Ronin M is what I am currently using. Obviously, I love to get shots with my DJI Mavic Mini as well, you know, for drone footage, just to add an extra perspective. So the more equipment you can sort of add to your arsenal, the better. The more you can mix things up, the better. And when it comes to editing, you know, I'm always experimenting with different color grades. I'm sort of sometimes doing these subtle zooms, or I'm cropping out a certain area of the frame. If your framing doesn't look clean, don't be afraid to use the crop tool and crop out any subject, any distractions that you feel isn't adding anything to that frame but is more so taking it away. Sometimes less is more. That's a saying that's used for a lot of industries, but I feel is definitely one true to videography as well, and even music, to be honest. But just experiment, take your time with the edit, take your time with filming. Filming and editing is all about being creative. Don't be shy to be creative. Experiment, have a look through your effects. Have a look at what your tools are offering you, as there's so much to play with these days that it's so easy to be overwhelmed and saturated. But just try and get to grips with what you've got. You know, a lot of the time it isn't the camera, it's the guy behind the camera. But of course, when you get better, using a high quality camera or using high quality equipment can just help elevate you even further. But get to grips with what you have first, learn all of the ins and outs, and build from there. That's sort of my biggest tip. But as of recent, you know, I've been loving that sort of cinematic vibe, as well as the couple odd fancy effects, etc. Trying to push my editing to new levels. I'm always trying to learn something new, always trying to educate myself, always trying to expand my portfolio and my arsenal myself. So yeah, I mean, if you guys would like to see anything in particular, like I said at the beginning of the video, on how I do a certain editing technique or how I actually go about achieving a certain look, please let me know in the comment section down below. But I just wanted to sort of make this video to sort of showcase and tell you guys a little bit about my style, and I'd say it's very much going for the sort of cool cinematic vibe, whilst adding in the odd couple of cool effects and transitions. So yeah, guys. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to smash the like button, comment down below, make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you for the next video. Peace.